New file, baby.
It begins.
Welcome to Is This Normal? Dare I say it? First thing first?
Wow.
It's a podcast. You're listening to it. You probably know it and love it already. But maybe if this is your first listen, you'd like to learn that this is a podcast where we dissect anonymous submissions. You can send in your quirks and queries and confessions. We'll debate them and decide whether they're normal or something completely different. I'm Erin Ingle.
I'm Alyssa Yeoman.
We're doing it.
We're doing it again. I love that off the bat. Look at us.
Look at us. No chitter chatter. All business, baby.
I know. Just two business people doing business about the world.
Absolutely.
In our power suits.
Global economics.
Macroeconomics.
Absolutely. Macro proteins or whatever those are.
Macros, micros.
Microdosing economics.
I'm microdosing economics for sure.
Yeah, that's when I just like find a quarter.
Yeah.
And decide what to do with it.
Save it. Let it sit in my car for ages in case I ever need change in a drive-through.
Why do they get so sticky in the car?
I don't know.
Does a car coin get stickier than your average coin? That was hard to spit out.
Yeah, it was like a riddle. I don't know why that is. I feel like a car gets really dusty too. I was thinking about that and I was like, how does a car get so dusty?
Where is this coming from?
I don't know.
I mean, like, it's not like I'm like driving up country roads all the time.
Yeah, I haven't seen a country road in a while.
Let me ask you something. What's your car spider situation?
Oh, okay. Luckily,
you got any car spiders?
No, but I have plenty of people I love in my life have had car spiders. I feel like my car doesn't have too many spiders because it's new.
Okay. Yep.
Newer. I haven't collected too many yet, but my friend Monisa had a car spider who lived in her mirror for like 2 months.
Side view mirror.
Side view. Come out.
They love it there.
Yes. Go back in. Sometimes he would ride the wave and just be going on the side while she was driving.
Like,
exactly.
Bouncing.
I love this ride.
Wow. And she was like, had a relationship with it because it had been there for so long. That's awesome. I wonder what it is about those side view mirrors. Well, they're like brushing up against stuff. So I get why they gather spiders. Mine, like when I park in our backyard here, driveway, I don't just park in the backyard, but my driver's side mirror is like right up against a big old bush. So there will sometimes be a spider web going from bush to car in the morning.
Okay.
Got to be careful about that.
Yeah. I think they like it back there because it's like a dark little hole, like a little
dark
bat
little
cave.
hole. And it's probably like kind of warm, like the opposite of an igloo.
Exactly. And they're just in there eating their dinner, having babies.
Where are they getting their foodie snacks?
I don't know. Maybe they come out, go back in.
Brilliant creatures.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with a side view mirror spider.
Okay.
Here and there, I'll get an inside the car spider. Yes. I just saw a teensy weensy little like green one, I think, which means they're like newborn kind of inside of my car. And I like brushed it off, but it just fell down and I was like, that's good enough. I don't know. I didn't smoosh it. I didn't displace it out of the car completely. Yeah. It was just a moment.
I had 2 ladybugs recently fall from the roof of my car. I don't know if they squeezed in through the what is that called, moonroof or something. And I was like, it was like terrified. I couldn't kill them. It's hard to kill ladybugs. They're so pretty.
I've never in my life on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So I just like shoot it out of the car, but I was like, how did 2 get in here?
They were smashing.
Yeah. They're like, we found a nice spot to we know a place
to get down. Hey baby, let me take you to the moonroof.
Yeah, exactly.
Having ladybugs in your car is very Snow White behavior, I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Car spiders, they're among us. But
they are.
I'm glad your shiny new car doesn't have.
Yeah. I try to get it washed more often than my old car too. I think that's helping because it's white.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of getting a white car. And
do you think a white car gets dirtier than a black car? Because my black car gets dusty.
Yeah. I think just as dirty.
Yeah. Maybe
it just looks different.
Yeah. You just get a nice brown car.
I know, right? Which is like hideous, but I would do it.
I feel like, our dear friend Bo Johnson has that like, sort of champagne colored old Camry. Never see a speck of dust on that thing.
That's perfect color.
Yeah, you lean against it in some white shorts and come back brown, but you can't tell.
Taking some of the car with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So I've been planning this Bachelor X trip.
So excited for you.
Yes, I'm excited. We're taking this show on the road. No, we are going on the road, a little Vegas action. And I've been thinking about packing, unpacking.
Oh, yeah.
The whole nine.
Okay.
And we were kind of talking about this a little bit, but we wanted to save this discussion for a podcast.
Yes.
Okay. When you return from a trip, is it normal to stay packed or immediately unpacked? Like, where are you on the spectrum of like coming back from a trip?
Okay. So you saw my partially disassembled carry-on, which was several days after returning from a trip, I think. I am a notorious late unpacker.
Okay.
Like, it's one of my like mental chore blocks somehow. Like, the bag comes inside. Maybe I pull like the toiletries or like whatever like I need out of it, and then it just kind of sits there. With the baby too, everything's been so chaotic in the household that it's like whatever, I'll just deal with that when I get with it. But I am a horrible delayed unpacker. I'll take out the dirties and leave the cleans for some reason.
Right.
Weird habit.
Are you dressing out of the clean clothes that are still in the suitcase too?
No, they're forgotten to me.
You're like, my vacation's over. I don't even need those clothes anymore.
Who was she?
Exactly. That's a whole nother thing. Packing for a vacation and the clothes you pack for a vacation is a whole nother can of worms.
Cannot wait to discuss this.
Yeah.
But you, with your suitcase, are you?
I'm unpacking. I get back from the airport. Maybe I'll chill out for a second. But within my before I go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting unpacked.
Good for you.
Which is, I don't know what switched in my life. Something switched in my adult life because there's habits I have now that I never had before. And that's one of them. I don't know. Yeah, what it was. Maybe it was ego death changed me.
Sure, that'll do it.
Yeah. It was like, you must unpack now immediately. But and my partner's the same way.
Immediate unpack.
Yeah.
So you two have a little debrief together.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I feel pressured because he unpacks even quicker than I do.
Oh, wow.
And where I'm like,
see him unwrapping all his little souvenirs.
Exactly. And then I'm like, oh, I got to get on it, you know? But it just feels so good to immediately be done with that.
Do you is it hanging stuff up? Do you throw everything into the laundry, or do you dissect the cleans and the dirties?
I've already got my cleans and dirties separated on the repack. After a vacation. I'm separating, putting things up. I'm not doing laundry that same night.
Okay, fair.
I'm not a psychopath. That's too much. But I'm unpacking pretty fast because it's just who I am now, and it feels good. But I hate living out of a suitcase after I'm done with vacation.
Man, I'm tripping over that bitch. It is all it's in the way. And then sometimes we're recently hard bag people. We've been dufflers for a long time. And yeah, thank you so much. It feels like a huge elevation.
Oh, you got rollies?
Yeah, I got the all-way rolls.
Yeah, that changed my life.
Yeah. It really is you're like a modern citizen.
Yeah, I'm speeding through the airport. I'm walking past the slow people.
Oh yeah. Suddenly I don't look like I'm about to go abroad for a college exchange with my shitty duffel bag and a backpack and headphones in. I'm like, wow, what's the big old world out there? No, I look like I'm have planned this. I've purchased my own ticket. Right. I'm not on standby.
Not on standby. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a huge upgrade, but maybe this is going to encourage me to unpack because the duffel bag could, one, on your trip, it's hard to get in and out of, right? So it's a huge upgrade to have the hard case. But when I would come home with my dirty duffel bag or whatever, that would get thrown in and out of the closet for 3 days, just to get out of the way and not get unpacked. So having
more malleable,
having the hard case, I think is going to up my class.
Yeah, maybe. It just takes up so much space laying there, and then my dog is sniffing it and wondering where I've been, and I'm like, don't look at me, Wolfgang. It's none of your business. But yeah, gotta get it unpacked. I want to know where our listeners are at. I feel like this is a divisive one.
Yeah, I very much wonder, because I did like intentionally, like not just because I was lazy, but we were doing like 2 travel weekends in a row. So it was like 4 days before we were going to have to repack. I kept that bag packed.
That makes sense to me.
Kept the toiletry bag in there, kept like the clean stuff, just pulled the dirties, and was like, okay, I'll supplement this with what I'm going to need.
Right.
But,
that makes sense.
That was the only time it was responsibly and thoughtfully done. Usually it's just forgotten.
Is your unpacking the same if you're moving in? Does it take you a while to unpack?
I'm going onto the trip?
No, like if you're like moving into a new space.
No, I'm unpacking like as I arrive into a new, if I'm moving in. Yeah.
Okay. So the nesting part just adds a different element.
Yeah. And on that note, like sometimes if I'm traveling like in a hotel or something like that, especially if there's fits, like I'm pulling those out and hanging them up.
Yes.
Using those weird hangers with that don't detach from the rod.
Along the middle.
You know the ones.
Yeah.
But I actually, if I am, I do enjoy an unpack to settle into a hotel room.
I know. I'm new to that.
Yeah.
I just started doing that, and it makes you feel like, okay, I'm on vacation. I'm here to stay. That's what it is. So, and I love looking at my outfits, knowing what I'm going to wear. Not everything has like the line from where you folded it everywhere. So that's changed my life too.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be so classy on our travels to Vegas. Is going to be incredible.
Vegas is like, we're going to be classy, but Vegas is probably one of the trashiest places on earth.
No. I have not been as an adult.
You haven't?
I know. I will tell you, I've been to Vegas one time. Shout out to my brother and his like college besties who drove my teenage ass down with them to go see. It was the Vegas, I want to say bicentennial, but it might have been just the centennial celebration. A huge outdoor concert. We saw Red Hot Chili Peppers outdoors.
Yes.
And what is it? I think Weezer.
Oh,
I gotta check my
combo.
Yeah, it was like this opening little pop punk band that we all despised, but I think has a very devoted following.
Who is it?
The Adolescents.
Oh, never heard of them.
And then Weezer, and then Red Hot Chili Peppers. Incredible concert. I passed out because I was very dehydrated.
Yeah. Teenage dream though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's like going to Warped Tour.
Baby, which I did several times. Can't wait to die.
I'm jealous. I'm still trying to get that Warped Tour happen as a teenage 30-something.
I would go with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can get our bucket hats and our Vans on. And
yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Should we hop into the smish?
Yeah, let's get in there.
Okay.
We themed the submissions this week because we had a little trend that we haven't really touched on yet. An emotional tide
that we all deal with. Crying. Yeah.
Should I hit this one?
Yeah, let's kick it off.
Okay. Is it normal to not cry at happy and or sad movies?
So no movies, really. Maybe.
I mean, I think there's
scary movies. They cry during scary movies.
They probably. I feel like they're referring to those movies that are like, oh, it's a movie that everybody cries at, but
right.
or that they perceive that like is a crying movie. But what's a happy crying movie?
I'm trying to think of a happy cry.
Like anything with a dog in it is gonna get me. Or
really,
yeah. I'll cry at a good rom-com too.
Oh yeah, I'm like trying to think if there's any happy movie that evokes tears or is known for that I can think of. None are coming to mind. Most of them are sad that I think of.
Yeah.
Before anything else. Those ones that are just made to like start the waterworks your
notebooks, etc.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like, is there any happy movie that I'm like Legally Blonde? Do people cry?
That's a happy movie.
It's a happy movie. But I feel like it's all feel good. So I haven't had a feel good movie move me to tears.
Happy tears. Yeah. That's I can't think that I have either, but
maybe a good sports film.
I think I've been like touched,
right.
or like that sort of, a sports film will absolutely get me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Wow.
You're
kind of a sporty spice, though.
Thank you. I was always sporty spice. Look at my ponytail right now.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna get a girl power tattoo.
Yes.
Yeah, I think sweet ones, like I might have. So I was just on a rom-com binge recently. Pretty sure I cried at You've Got Mail.
Okay.
Pretty sure I cried like because they like when they like come together at the end or whatever. So like romance, but those and like I wouldn't off the bat describe those as happy. I'd describe them as like romance.
Right. I guess I cried during Lady Bird.
Ooh.
Which, I cried a lot during Lady Bird.
That's a gripping.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's a happy or a sad movie. It's just a drama, right?
It does. Yeah, it does sit in that zone.
Right.
And sad movie. Now we're like, what does happiness even mean? It's like
we're such stoners. Yes.
But I mean the movies that are like you said, like manufactured for tears. Okay, Pixar movies. So those are happy movies that like I 100% I will cry. Like I looked when I saw Inside Out in a theater, looked to my left and to my right in the row, just wet faces, like all the way up and down. I'm like gonna cry thinking about it. So I would say like that it felt like a normal thing for people to be crying at like that kind of happy movie.
But they have like those drama elements in Pixar. Like it's like the sad moments. It might have a happy ending, but there's like I think I haven't seen Up, but I know Up starts out really sad.
Yeah.
And then it moves into a happier film.
True.
So it's like, do we count it? I guess we count it as a happy movie still.
Yeah. Like, because we wouldn't be showing kids like sad movies. Like, but they have like some depth.
Exactly.
Did you see Coco?
I haven't seen Coco.
Coco will rip the freaking tears right. Well, okay. Wait, do you cry?
That's a great question. So I'm hardened by life.
True. You're just a callous of a person.
I used to cry a lot more in movies. I feel like I cry less in movies now. It's been a while since I've cried a lot during a movie. I think Lady Bird is like the last movie I cried a lot during.
You're like, my relationship with my mom could use work.
Oh my gosh. That angsty teenage relationship with your mom, so applicable to my life. And dog in the background. I'm trying to think if I've seen anything recently that's kind of made me. I think I've had stuff where I'm like tearing up or I like well up.
Yeah.
But I haven't had tears fall in a recent movie. And I think that's just like getting older or something.
I think I'm going the opposite direction, but it could be like hormonal. Okay. Yeah. Because I like once the baby came, I think I maybe have talked about this on the pod even before, but like Baird and I were in the middle of like 3 very serious TV shows. I was really interested in watching like a couple different movies. Like I still hadn't seen Nope, and I really wanted to see Nope, but I was like, I can't be unsettled right now. Like I only wanted like soft serve, sweet TV and movies, and I was crying like a maniac to all of them. So so it definitely could be a little hormonal change for me on that note. But
ooh, you know what? I do think I cried in the first season of The Bear at a monologue the main character does. There's a monologue Carmi does in a meeting. And I think I started to like kind of cry during that.
Yeah, just hit you right.
Yeah, and it was just so powerful. Sometimes that like moves me enough.
Yeah, like to good theater.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely crying here and there, but just not as much as I used to. Yeah. Not as much as I used to.
If just to be like in direct response to this, to like, is it normal not crying at happy or sad movies? I'm gonna say yeah. I think that like. We are a world divided on like there's like criers and not criers or like I feel like it's like either way is pretty normal to cry or not cry.
Right. And sometimes it's just like movies, there's that detachment from a movie that I think would make it harder to cry during a movie. Just because you're like, oh, I'm watching something. This isn't necessarily directly affecting me. I only cry when something's like directly affecting me.
Yeah. And like, I think I'm the kind of person that like, I build up some tears inside of my body and like seek out either a movie or music that will like help me cry.
Yes.
So I'm like, get it out of my body. Like I need to have that like release. So but I think that's probably a little stranger than not crying at a movie.
No, I get that. I get that. Like that hit home where it's just been like, sometimes it's just been a while since I've cried and something just like triggers that, like you haven't cried in X amount of time. You have to like let that out. Yeah.
The pot is full. Like you need to open the tap.
Even thinking about this right now, I'm like, I think I got to cry.
Stop
coming my way. Yeah. Because I was like, I can't think of the last time I cried now.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and that's not good. I got to get that out.
Well, I'm glad you're not like stressed out by all of the many things that you have going in your life right now to the point of crying. That makes me happy.
That's true. Yeah. I guess I could get there. But maybe I'll watch something sad tonight, see if that brings it out.
Man, rock a Pixar if you need to.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Inside Out and Coco both made me. I watched Coco with Natalie Holt and my buddy Miles Hawthorne. We watched it when we were crashing on his couch in LA, and I think one of his buddies like had like an advanced copy of it. He was one of those people that gets to watch movies early in LA.
Oh, nice.
So we watched it, and like at the end, like the credits are rolling, and all of us had just wet, fat tears going down our faces, and we're looking over our shoulders at each other like, what a stupid movie for kids. God. Like, dumb. Why would I even care?
There's just like something in both my eyes right now.
It's really bright, dusty. Yeah, Coco got me really good. I don't know. But yeah, I very much understand why a full-grown adult would not cry during that.
Yes. So. Maybe I'll watch it, though. I want to see it.
Sweetie. Well, yeah. So
totally normal.
File under normal.
File under normal. Okay, next one. Is it normal that I smell different after I cry?
Off the bat, I'm going to say I've never heard of this.
Yes. In all my years as a doctor, I've never heard of this.
In all my years as a psychiatrist / ceramicist, it's not been mentioned. Yes. But cool.
Yes, but it also makes sense to me because hear me out. I'm like, tears roll and they have their own scent. They're salty, whatever is coming out. It goes right down on your face past the nose, changing the smell of your face.
All right. That immediately sounds reasonable to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, seems scientific.
It does. You know where my mind, like the picture I was painting in my mind when you read that was like the smell after rain. I was like, does this person feel like they have like an atmospheric shift?
Right.
Like, I smell so good right now.
Yeah. Do you smell better or worse after you cry? That's a question. I haven't heard of this. It's leaning towards special for me.
Leaning towards special, but I also want to, what's our word? Like, I also want to like make it, I want to find a way to make it normal.
Right.
Like, I'm very much searching for one. Here's where I'm going right now.
Okay.
Have you heard like, about like cortisol?
Yes.
It's like your stress hormone, and supposedly you're like, when you're sweating because of stress, the sweat smells worse than just like purging sweat in another way. Like if you're like hot, like, or whatever.
Right.
Don't know if that's entirely true, but I've heard that. So maybe there's like a stress release in the crying. So like your like hormones are pumping, and you're like
getting a different smell of a tear.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see that being the case.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go probably on a Google deep dive later around this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be totally normal. I was like, how do you, usually you're sniffling, all that stuff. How do you smell? I'm like, do you smell your arm after you cry? Or is it just like this person obviously has a scent that's very obvious after they cry that's different. To notice it. Yeah. And to notice your own scent is like a whole nother level, because it's like a lot of times people aren't noticing their scent out in the world. So if you're even noticing like, a shift in smell, like that's huge.
Totally. I mean, I would hate to like gaslight this person and be like, do you really like
right?
I wonder if other people can tell, or if just they can tell too.
Right.
very curious, but
I'm with you on the stress thing though, that it would release a different scent or something like that.
But overall, I'm going to say this feels special.
Definitely special.
And unless the normcore rises up and say, no, we smell different.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna guess this is a little more unique. Either their like scent is unique or their sniffer is unique in that it can sense the difference.
Yeah. You must have a strong nose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
You know any super smellers?
I don't know. I think Mo might be a super smeller.
Yeah.
She is like very sensitive to scents and stuff and can like smell things that I feel like I don't. I feel like a super smeller when I'm on my period.
Oh. Well, there's an interesting comparison.
Right? Because it's like my nose becomes more sensitive and then it's like sometimes just like the smell of eggs. I'm like, ugh. Yeah. I'm like, these.
You don't have to talk me out of the smell of eggs.
Yeah, the smell of eggs, something like that. Suddenly meats are like, some meats are smelling really good. Some are like disgusting.
Yeah.
Because, did you have like, whenever you were pregnant, how was the smell for you? Because I know that's another time.
I didn't feel like I had like a super smeller. Some things just like that I could normally like handle were a little bit more repulsive to me. Like I couldn't clean the drain.
Oh,
when I was like, Baird, you got to take care of this for me because I cannot do it. Or like if something was stinky in the fridge, I had to have him get rid of it. But I don't. Maybe that was because it smelled worse than usual to me. But I was like more triggered by like more nauseated by it or something. Shout out to friend of the pod, Keisha, believed that she is a super smeller.
Really?
Yeah. And we've really fucked her house up with some stinky foods. So sorry, Keisha, love you.
Yeah, sorry about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Isaac has these pot stickers that we keep getting from Costco. And for some reason, like, he can cook them in the middle of the day and I'll be gone and I'll come back and I'll be like, you ate those pot stickers. It just has like this really distinct smell to me. They're just like, they're chicken. They're like normal.
Yeah.
And they smell terrible to me, like to the point that I haven't even like, we're on our second pack. I don't think I've tried them yet.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say
the smell is so distinct after they've been cooked. But so there's some things like that, but I'm not like on a regular basis like walking into someone's house being like, oh, I can smell what you cooked earlier today.
Yeah, I think there's a handful of foods that are like oh, you cooked fish, or like you know, maybe it's really oniony, which is obviously a delicious smell, but so it can be overpowering. But
exactly.
That's a tough one when you hate to stink up the house.
Yeah.
Like, but the pot stickers are so good.
I bet they're good. I'm gonna have to try them. But yeah, the smell they emanate when they cook. It's just wild.
And then it lingers.
It lingers when it sticks in the air like that. And I mean, even the smell of weed. Like, I feel like weed. I smoke enough weed that sometimes I like can't really smell that after I smoke it, but I don't know if it's because you're in it with it or what that's like.
I'm a very much a user of the like claim that weed smell goes away faster. It might not be true, but I'm like,
I believe it too.
Yeah, me too. Like maybe I'm just inured to it, but
I'm like, it dissipates.
Don't you know that it dissipates?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the atoms.
I got called out so hard once in this. This is like right before the pandemic happened. I was like on a smoke circle, as you do as a comedian, and got into this Uber, and I was like, oh yeah, and it's like jacket season. And I'm like making some comment about how I don't smell like weed, and the Uber driver's like, yes, you do. And I was like, my bad. Sorry, Michael. 5 stars.
I was going to say 2 stars. Michael
called out.
Is not nice.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my gosh. Okay, but this is special.
Super special. I want to reminisce about one other thing.
What?
Do you remember, I'm sure you do, me and you and Mo driving to Portland, and I got pulled over for speeding, and we had smoked plenty.
Yes.
And I was like, please God, let this car not smell like weed, like enough to like get searched or something. That was like one of the most nerve-wracking moments of my life.
Yeah.
Obviously getting pulled over is the worst, but
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was a scary moment when you got pulled over. We were all like silent. Everybody look straight ahead. We got our IDs ready if needed.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was brutal. That's don't speed in Vancouver, people. Don't.
Yeah,
it's not worth
coming
it
for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Final one.
A final submission for today.
I'm really interested to hear what our normcore has to say about this, if anything. This final one. Do you want me to grade it or?
Oh, is it me? I can do
It's
it.
you. Cool.
Okay. Is this normal? I cry during particularly good sex, like tears roll.
Ooh.
Okay. First of all, good for you. For really, really fucking.
Yeah.
You're out there doing it.
Yeah. A champion, a goat.
And having good stuff too.
Yeah.
Not just regular.
Yeah.
For me, this is special.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever cried.
Okay.
Maybe like the first time.
Okay.
Or like, because I was like so in love or whatever.
Right.
But not like I've just seen a beautiful moving work of art or Coco.
I've been here before.
Yeah?
Yes. I can count the amount of times on my hand, like maybe 3 times this has happened to me.
Yeah. Sorry, happened to you?
Where I've cried.
Okay, I was wondering if you made someone else cry with your
I have never made anybody. Yeah, I've never had anybody Crymax because they were like, Alyssa.
Crymax?
I can't even take credit for that. I think it's from Scrubs.
Okay.
I've never made anybody Crymax. But I have Crymaxed myself.
Oh my God.
Maybe like 3 times. But I feel like it was a combination of, yes, it was good, but I was like you said at the beginning, the tears had been building up in my system.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I think it was a combination of it being good, but I think it was just the overall release in general was like, you're crying now.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, did not know this was going to happen.
Yeah.
How did it go? Did they take it well?
I mean, I feel like, most men are so vain, they take it as a compliment. You know what I mean?
Must have got too big of my dick in you.
Yeah, exactly. This happens to me all the time. So it went okay. And it wasn't like, it was like few tears roll. I'm usually able to wrap it up fast. It's not like I continue to cry for like minutes or anything like that. Right. And you're kind of going your separate ways after sex, moving about. So it wasn't too like we're staring at each other still and I'm crying in your face or anything like that. But those times it happened, it felt special. Like it wasn't a normal. Yeah. It's not a normal thing,
Yeah. Like you've had amazing sex without tears roll. Like it's
exactly. And there's times I've had mid-sex where I've been like, I wish I could cry because this was terrible.
I wish I could get a little wet somewhere.
Exactly. But this is special because I feel like this person is like, maybe this is happening more often and the tears were rolling because that's like, I felt a cry, had a little cry, but I wouldn't consider it tears roll.
Yeah. Like for me, tears roll like when I'm on mushrooms and like really looking at a tree or something like that, where I'm like, God, nature is so beautiful. Like that's when like rolling tears from something like beautiful and good, it's drug related for me.
Right.
I don't know if I could rock that in sex.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe I would say maybe one time in my life, and that would be very early on, but
right
in my sexual life, not my early life.
Yeah. Totally. But I think this is leaning more towards special for me, because of the tears rolling and particularly good. I also want to know like how they define that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's are there studies? Is it just Cosmo? How do we know what it is?
Cosmo. God.
I don't know. I mean, I feel very much I would call this special as well. I also would like to know like, how the other half takes it.
Right.
Maybe there's more than one other person in there and everybody's like, wow, we really rocked this sesh.
Mid-Samar moment, everybody's crying together in tandem,
heaving and like moaning.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing.
Truly bonding over the experience.
Oof. yeah, I feel like cause I kind of feel like I wouldn't know what to do if the other person were crying. Like, I'm picturing myself given like a good back pat and squeeze. Like, I mean, you probably are just like, is everything okay?
Right.
That would be my first concern.
Toss them that towel with, use it for your tears and everything else you need it for.
That's a well-loved towel.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think if on the other side of it, I think I'd be like, did something just go wrong?
Yeah.
Because it would be my immediate response over thinking that it was that good.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're not that vain. To
Yeah,
be like,
exactly.
Fucking banged another one out. Another superstar job by me.
Another Crymax ad in my book. Just tally him up. Tally him up.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Normcore, you let us know. Are we Crymaxing? Is it, how do you smell after that? Like, because you know you smell different after sex, right? That's like,
right. That's a common,
given, right?
Yeah. That's a smell thing about sometimes, depending on the situation, makes me nauseous.
You hate to walk into a room that smells like that.
Yes.
You're like, oh boy.
If it's not your own, that's when like your own farts smell okay to you, but like other people's farts, you're like, not so much. Not so much.
Oof, it is bodies in here.
Yes.
Well, we want to hear from you, friends. Can you maybe want to take them home?
Yeah.
Is that a good day for us?
So if you like this pod, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Is This Normal Pod. Like, share. You can watch this on YouTube now. We're all the places. So submit. We have a form you can submit through. And we still got something cooking up for you that'll make it easier to submit. So definitely get those in. We want to hear from you. And if you're one of our dear listeners who keeps thinking like, oh, I want to submit something, but I haven't thought of anything yet, don't overthink it. Just think about your everyday life. There's probably something. Someone asked us if the way they store butter is normal, you know? So we're open.
You don't have to be breaking open the most like unheard of topics. It's like the regular stuff that we really like to debate, right?
Right. Because that makes the world go round. So we would love to hear from you. And until next time, you're normal.
You're special.
We love you.